He's convinced that insane rating is just some weird glitch in the guy's code. Chibi Zhao Sui is literally grumbling under his breath, realizing he could have speed-run this whole game if he just picked this guy first. Meanwhile, Yanwen's affection level, a measly 65%. With only 30 days left on the clock, our fox-eared boy shuts his eyes, desperately trying to stick to his original game plan. Little Zhao Sui is death-staring this smiling man, totally fed up with him constantly messing up his route. President Chin just asks, why the long face? And tells him to either finish the quest or just hang out. Zhao Sui tries to play it cool, but that maxed out score is living rent-free in his head. Tiny President Chin, clutching a bouquet, wonders why this grumpy little fox is suddenly so fired up after failing his last mission. Oh, here we go, the penalty. Zhao Sui has to wear a white dress and black stockings. Yep, the system window just confirmed his nightmare. That banquet reward was the key. It pushed Yanwen's favorability straight to 100%. Zhao Sui starts doing the math, and honestly, he finally has enough points to escape this crazy game world. Tiny Yanwen is holding a plushie while President Chin and the kid have a silent, super grumpy standoff. Kui Yan Shuang is like, wait, why are you suddenly so down for this cross-dressing mission? What changed? Zhao Sui is standing there, totally dying inside in that dress, while the CEO just watches. The poor guy turns away, his face turning bright red, feeling the heat of that intense, dark-haired gaze. He's really taking one for the team with this punishment, but then the director calls him over. Just a quick heads up, this exact clip is going right at the end of the brand new trailer. Talk about a cliffhanger. The comments are buzzing as long as the audience doesn't figure out it's actually teacher Zhao Sui. The mission is a total success. Zhao Sui is like, they're not idiots, you know? But the director just tells him to grab another guest for help. He decides to just get it over with, asking if any guest can snap a photo for those sweet double rewards. Look at that face, he's locked in and figuring out his next victim. He skips over Yan when first their last shoot together was way too iconic, so it'd be a dead giveaway. He shuts down Kui and Shuang too, scared that a photo with her would blow his cover instantly. All the while, President Chin is just watching with this sneaky, I know something you don't smile. When he finally walks up, Chin starts teasing him about actually remembering him for once. Zhao Sui is just like, ooh, never mind, just forget it. The director is second-guessing the camera angle. But Zhao Sui tells him to just shut up and roll with it. He's just praying that if he distracts everyone, no one will realize what he's actually wearing. The dark-haired man grabs a chain and says they're good to go, though he's a bit worried about the difficulty level. Now wrapped in chains and pressed together. Yeah, Zhao Sui is wondering if this is even legal for TV. Chin leans in and whispers, is the little fox finally going to give me a reward? Little Zhao Sui brings up that maxed out favorability, and this shirtless guy straight up admits he's loving every second of this. Meanwhile, the internet is losing its mind over his abs and his gorgeous, female partner. Under a massive full moon, beautiful music drifts out from the windows of this towering, regal palace. Inside the grand hall, everything looks insanely expensive, and a white grand piano is all set for the big event. Guests in stunning gowns are filling up the ballroom, and you can hear the hum of 100 secrets. Rocking his super sharp white suit, Zhao Sui steps into the banquet and starts scanning the room. Yep, lots of familiar faces here tonight. He catches sight of Chin-li in the crowd and whispers his name, just watching from afar. But then, boom, flashback time. Zhao Sui is asking Chin-li for help with the zipper that's stuck on his dress. The man's hand is pressed firm against his waist as he tries to fix the broken fastener. The kid's like, are you done yet? But the guy just teases him for being too slow. And then he just leaves. Our boy's absolutely fuming that the guy just walked off and left him hanging. He storms across the hall, determined to hunt him down and settle the score. Suddenly, he smacks right into someone, He looks up, startled, and there he is. Yan Wen catches him by the arm before he can fall, asking if he's okay while flashing that senior smile of his. This pink-haired junior is literally radiating a dazzling, warm energy that could light up the whole room. But he doesn't let go. He grips his wrist tight and pulls him closer while the music keeps playing. In the background, totally flustered, Zhao Sui awkwardly asks if he got hurt when they collided. He starts thinking about how this invisible embrace works, since only players can actually spot these moments. With his eyes glowing a creepy red, Yan Wen mentions a last chance. But Zhao Sui just suggests hitting the party. Suddenly, a massive system alert pops up. Mission success tonight isn't just a goal, it's a total. Desperate necessity. No pressure, right? A woman starts addressing the crowd, telling everyone to live it up at the party. Then Kui Yenshuang slides up to our boy, asking how long he's been hiding out in the corner. She brings up that ad they did and suggests they should definitely collab again soon. Zhao Sui actually likes hanging with her, but he's worried he'll have to restart the game just to see her again. Yan Wen notices they're getting along well, while he watches them chat from the sidelines. A little chibi version of him is thinking about how that person always seeks him out in private, which is actually kind of sweet. Then the little fox hears a voice promising to get him out of the game tonight, and he's finally feeling better. But wait, mission first. He remembers he needs a guy to finish this. He asks Kui Yenshuang where Yan Wen is, and she points toward the balcony. Calling out for Yan Wen, our fox-eared hero carefully creeps through a super dark palace hallway. He's starting to wonder if the guy is even there. As he peers into the thick shadows, deep in the dark, a man with glowing red eyes is watching him with a creepy smile. Something is definitely ... off. Our hero thinks it's time to hunt elsewhere, but whoosh! A hand grabs his wrist from the dark, making him gasp in absolute total shock. The attacker clamps a hand over Zhao Sui's mouth, silencing him instantly as he's yanked back against a tall, dark-haired man's firm chest. This guy is seriously strong. As they move, our youth starts wondering, wait, is this man actually trying to kidnap me for real? President Chin asks why he's lingering if the dark scares him so much. Chibi Zhao Sui just starts aggressively whacking his head. Calling him a teasing idiot, the fox-eared cutie makes a break for it, dashing from the balcony and straight back into the hallway. President Chin just stands there in total silence, watching him go with a completely unreadable look. Man, the tension is just unreal. While a tiny chibi version of him scurries away, we see the fancy guest feet moving through the busy banquet hall hallway. Moonlight spills across the grand arches of the palace balcony. So quiet. Zhao Sui wonders, is this guy some kind of rogue player? Checking his collar, the youth wonders if this guy broke the game's script. He just clutches his head in pure confusion. 2 players here? No way. The youth starts thinking back on Wen's weirdly high level of awareness. It's definitely suspicious. Thinking about their latest interactions, Zhao Sui looks at him and says life is precious. After all, would anyone actually risk it all for a person? Risking their life for someone else? President Chin listens very closely, staying totally calm and looking deep in thought. Touching the youth's face, the man says you'd risk everything for someone truly special. He's basically questioning the whole meaning of life. Saying life is just too long, Chin admits he'd rather spend every second together than live in a constant daily nightmare. He promises to stay by his side forever, life or death be damned. And look, the flashbacks show 100% favorability. Zhao Sui is absolutely reeling, telling himself there's no way this is real. He keeps insisting it's impossible and yells for the man to never appear again. He remembers the man feeding them earlier, calling him his precious little fox. That dark-haired man gives him such a warm smile. Noting that the youth really does look like a fox, Zhao Sui looks back, asking who exactly is supposed to be that important. Our youth grabs the man's suit lapels, holding on with a desperate kind of grip. He pulls the dark-haired man in real close. searching for answers in that steady gaze. President Chin tells the youth to just answer him during their super tense standoff. The man stares hard, asking who he really is behind that mask. The camera zooms in as his eyes narrow just slightly. Waiting for the truth, he asks if his little fox already figured things out. Talk about catching the youth off guard. The little dark-haired chibi mutters it's impossible while the youth's face turns bright red. Chibi Zhao Sui is like, "What are you saying?" Suddenly, a system mute alert pops up. Emergency mode is now active as a 60-second countdown starts ticking away right now. The youth stomps on his foot, making him ask about his tricks. Then a voice suddenly calls out, "Hey, senior!" Breaking the thick silence on that balcony, and Wen appears with a huge smile. Finally finding the senior he was looking for. He nods at the president before saying he's got something for his senior. Meanwhile, President Chen is giving him the deadliest glare. Clearly hating this interruption, Zhao Sui just stands there, totally lost, while these two men share an incredibly tense, icy look. And Wen whispers a challenge to Chen before declaring he's confessing to his senior. Zhao Sui's head starts throbbing as boxes appear. With a code check in progress, the dark-haired man worries that these system adjustments are actually trying to kick him out. Digital code starts blurring everything as he wonders why this keeps happening. A thought bubble pops up, he just can't take it. Amidst all the crazy digital noise, the whole scene glitches with a loud bang as Zhao Sui squeezes his eyes shut tight. Zhao Sui watches the man, totally baffled by his sudden freeze-up. Then he notices a weird shift in the man's intense gaze. Did he see that right? And Wen wears a sly, knowing smile while the silence between the three guys just grows. Zhao Sui finally realizes this isn't Chen Li. Thinking back on all his weird moves, he concludes this guy is a player. Recalling their intimate moments and looking for a chance, Zhao Sui asks in Wen and Shen what they're even talking about, and Wen looks back with a soft look, eyes locked onto his senior. Then he suddenly pulls Zhao Sui in close, saying he's always wanted to tell him something. Zhao Sui senses a hidden mission starting as the whole vibe shifts completely. A romantic vision shows Chen Li leaning over him on roses. Meanwhile, Wen's gloved hand firmly locks onto Zhao Sui's slender wrist. And Wen asks if Senior knew about his feelings, making Zhao Sui feel super tense. A sharp ring echoes as his gaze intensifies. During this sudden confession, a mission alert confirms the start of a confession task with a nice little favorability reward too. And Wen keeps holding his hand, waiting for an answer. Our pink-haired junior just gives a faint kind of mysterious little smile. While his red eyes glow, Zhao Sui spots in Wen touching a bright blue bracelet, wondering what the heck it means. Zhao Sui panics, warning him not to touch what only players can remove. Can this non-player character actually see it? The mission screen glows. Zhao Sui is nervous about the confession, but distracted by that glowing bracelet. Zhao Sui realizes that NPCs can definitely see his bracelet, even if they cannot see his floating game interface. This sends our boy into hiding. Is showing a common NPC his rare item a total rookie mistake? Probably. And Wen thinks his mission is toasted, but Zhao Sui urgently begs him to wait. Inside, he is totally panicking. He refuses to blow it now. He figures the item only targets players anyway, so showing it should be totally fine. Zhao Sui offers the bracelet to Wen, who just smiles. Suddenly, creepy shadow vines wrap around our main character. The mission is finally ending. As he touches that glowing accessory, you can see the sheer intensity reflected in his eyes. And Wen just stands there with a blank face while the world goes silent. Then Chen Yi demands to know who Zhao Sui is. And Wen's face goes dark as he claims the engagement is ancient history. So he's totally free to pursue him. Zhao Sui is losing it because the script is locked. Chen Yu confirms they're engaged while Zhao Sui screams internally. Our boy feels absolutely doomed, worrying about Wen's reaction. But the junior says his pursuit has nothing to do with Chin. How does this kid know about the engagement? Zhao Sui is confused, but he is just relieved that the junior doesn't care. 3 men, 1 balcony, and a whole lot of shock. Reality is finally hitting them all like a ton of bricks. His goal was the mission, not a divorce drama. And Wen smiles, saying everything feels fresh since meeting Mr. Chin. Zhao Sui tells him to forget it while holding his gloved hand and smiling. Meanwhile, Chin Yi is watching them like a hawk. Chin Yi decides he has found a much better target here. A heart showing 65% favorability pops up over An Win, giving our hero a really bad feeling about this. And Wen wonders if it is a shame to end the game now. Zhao Sui stares in shock as the favorability climbs high. And Wen admits he liked his senior, but then his heart drops to 40%. The junior starts questioning their whole connection. After seeing Zhao Sui with Chin Yi, disappointment fills in Wen's face as his heart drops into the negatives. Total disaster. A system alert says points cannot go below 0. Looking cold and distant, and Wen expresses how much his senior let him down. In this tense moment, the glowing system interface flashes an error message because of the targets. Current negative favorability status. This is bad. Shock fills Zhao Sui's eyes. He realizes his latest moves caused a massive setback. His mission is hanging by a single thread. Determined to save the mission, Zhao Sui follows his junior as the guy walks away in a very heavy silence. Our boy won't let it end like this. But then, Chin Yi blocks the way, leading to a sharp demand for him to move. The president questions the junior's true goal with the fox-eared boy. Things get heated as Zhao Sui shoves past the dark-haired man immediately. He tells the man to back off. Panic sets in as he notices his system menu and bracelet have suddenly vanished into thin air. Zhao Sui tries to chase Sin Wen, but Chin Yi grabs him and begs him to stay. Our boy is absolutely furious. Facing the president directly, Zhao Sui demands to know exactly what the heck this guy actually wants from him. Enough is enough. He was so close to winning before this mess happened. Now he's just surrounded by digital failure pop-ups everywhere. After this catastrophic failure, he's thinking about hitting reset. But Chin Yi is still holding his wrist with a firm grip. The man refuses to let go. He tells Zhao Sui to stop liking An Wen and just choose him instead. Talk about a twist. Would a change of heart actually let him out of this game? Zhao Sui thinks about it but firmly rejects the proposal. He declares he will only ever care for his junior. Then the rain starts pouring down on the silent, heavy balcony. Chin Yi wonders what he did wrong while Zhua concludes that the guy just does not understand his feelings at all. Yanking his hand back, the youth gets ready to deliver a verbal bomb that is really going to hurt the man. Zhao Sui lists every disgusting thing about him, starting with that unwanted engagement. His words are getting more and more cruel by the second. He confesses to hating the guy's voice and even his existence. They stand apart in the rain, surrounded by pure, heavy resentment. Zhao Sui begs him to stop meddling and just disappear forever. Exhausted, the youth stares forward as his words sink in deeply. He feels a bit confused, wondering if the things he just said were too harsh. The weight of his own anger is heavy. A pained smile touches Chin Yi's lips as he accepts the hatred. The man realizes he only brings discomfort to the one he wants. Memories of kindness flash by as he realizes his hopes were just a delusion. He finally sees the truth behind his own feelings. Chin Yi backs off, telling the boy to go home and offering a driver. He turns his back, ready to leave him. He confirms someone will see the boy home. Zhao Sui stands alone as the man disappears into the dark shadows of the palace. Doubt creeps in as the youth wonders if this outcome even fits the original script. He is totally overwhelmed by his emotions. Zhao Sui crouches down and clutches his head in the pouring rain. He thinks he is a terrible person for being so cruel. Thunder and rain lash the palace towers as the night gets darker. Suddenly, a door creaks open. Who could it be? Soaked and exhausted, our boy finally makes it back to his quarters, where a fox-eared man glances up from his paper, clearly annoyed by the interruption. The older man keeps talking as our silent protagonist just walks right past him. Zhao Sui is in a total daze, ignoring everyone as he slowly heads up the grand staircase, just wanting to be alone. The butler and a waiter just look at each other confused. This isn't like him at all, they're worried. He gets to his room and just leans against the door. Finally, he's alone with the chaos in his head. His hands are shaking as he tries to make sense of the balcony craziness and all these feelings. Our boy desperately calls out to the system. He demands it show up and give him some answers. But relief quickly turns to sheer terror as his vision fills with a red warning light. A flood of red windows signals a total system failure. His favorability score? It's crashing. Zhao Sui starts to panic. Because that glowing blue bracelet on his wrist, it just vanished into thin air, leaving him totally confused about what's happening. He's kneeling there, alone on the cold floor, when a sharp knock on the door shatters his frantic internal spiral. Dead silence. Someone's waiting outside, their shadow looming under the door, which slowly starts to creak open. We get a peek into the dark bedroom and a hand reaches in, flipping a switch. The room is suddenly flooded with light. Zhao Sui is just lying in bed, drenched in sweat and looking completely drained. And standing over him, a man with long red hair and fox ears. Looking seriously concerned, the red-haired guy pulls a blanket over him, telling him to dry his hair. He tells him to change his clothes so he doesn't get sick. A close-up on Zhao Sui's eyes shows it brimming with tears. Zhao Sui just tells the man to leave him alone, basically thinking he's about to die anyway. The long-haired man is like, "What are you talking about?" Seeing how fragile he is, the red-haired man just offers him a bowl of something warm while he rests in bed. Zhao Sui just scoffs. "What's this poison? Finally decided to do me in because you got bored?" He's clearly beyond annoyed. He is so over this guy's constant unwanted attention. The man insists he speak properly and explain what's gotten into him tonight. "Ooh, this is so bitter," Zhao Sui complains about the medicine. But the long-haired man waits patiently, sitting nearby. Then he asks if Zhao Sui wants some cake. Our boy just remembers how this guy never let him eat this late. He starts wondering if this is the system's idea of a final meal before he kicks the bucket. The man explains he bought some coral cake. He says he got it after work since he knew the kid wanted some. The shot zooms in on a box clearly marked coral cake. It hits Zhao Sui. This guy actually went out of his way for him. The man holds out a plate with a little strawberry dessert. It looks a little squished, but the red-haired man gently feeds a bite of the sweet cake to our emotional protagonist. The sweetness finally hits him, the flavor he's been dreaming of. The man gently wipes his face. He offers a soft, comforting smile as we see Zhao Sui finish the cake, his eyes filled with a quiet kind of sadness. A flashback to a bakery on a busy street brings up some old regrets as he stares at the last of the dessert. With a strange feeling of peace, Zhao Sui accepts that this might be the end of the game. Having fixed one regret at least, a vision of a dark-haired man pops into his head as he wishes he could see someone. The red-haired man promises to buy more cake. "I'll get more tomorrow," he says, "if you just get some rest." A promise of tomorrow? Zhao Sui's eyes widen with hope. He shoots up in bed. He still has a month. 1 month left to fix all of this. He looks at the man and says, "It's late." "You should go home," he tells him. As the red-haired man leaves, a mysterious dark figure watches him from the shadows. A woman also with red hair and fox ears greets him, fresh from a trip, and immediately starts fussing over how wet he is. She starts blaming the dad for being so careless. A third man with short brown hair and fox ears stands with the family. Zhao Sui just wonders if the entire world is glitching out. New characters? The system is broken? A romantic memory flashes on screen. The scene cuts to a high-angle shot of a bright, modern city with busy traffic. A woman is walking through a corporate building's lobby. She walks up to the security gates, where a staff member tells a visitor they can't get in without a pass or an appointment. Our boy pulls down his mask, and the staffer's eyes go wide. Teacher Zhao Sui? But then she tells him his contract was terminated. Zhao Sui is in complete shock. Terminated? How? He tells the receptionist to please call the manager. You can see the sheer panic in his eyes as everything gets worse. The world glitches around him as he asks about the manager. A man in a sharp suit walks up, calling him Mr. Zhao Sui, and introduces himself as Director Chen's assistant. He looks at him dead serious and asks for the clothes, repeating he's Director Chen's personal assistant. Zhao Sui has no idea what's going on. The assistant takes the bag and coldly tells him to leave the building, immediately. But Zhao Sui snatches the bag back, demanding to know why. The assistant reveals Director Chen has approved the proposal to cancel their engagement. Total shock. The youth freezes, his hand going limp on the shopping bag. Silence. The assistant just turns and walks away, his footsteps echoing down the hall. On the polished floor, Zhao Sui calls his name, Yuan, as a pale-haired man appears, holding a book and remarking on how cold things just got. Yuan strolls closer, asking Zhao Sui why he's even here. His eyes locked on a 0% favorability rating. Ouch. Our hero wonders if the game is even running anymore. A close-up on Yuan's glowing pink eyes reveals ... nothing. No warmth. Then a chilling smile. He mockingly compares himself to a senior. A confused Zhao Sui wonders, can one NPC really like another in this dark, thorny world? I have no feelings left, Yuan declares. The youth stares in horror as heart-shaped eyes confirm it. 0%. Then the ground begins to crack. As Zhao Sui realizes the whole game world is shattering, a system window pops up. Target character Yuan. Mission failure. A massive red game over screen flashes, signaling a total disaster. A sweet memory of Chin, the leaning over him, appears for a moment. The game over message burns on screen as he's swallowed by digital darkness. Falling into an endless void, Zhao Sui screams in pure terror. He refuses to accept his own death. Suddenly, a glitching prompt appears with bizarre text that our panicked hero can't even read. He smashes yes anyway, and a reboot command fires off with a sharp digital sound. The entire world dissolves into a blue wireframe grid. As a massive reorganization process begins, system messages in Chinese confirm that all the data and player info have finished loading. A blue interface announces, player Zhao Sui has entered the world again. The youth's blue eye reflects the shifting light of a brand new, completely reset reality. Stumbling to his feet, Zhao Sui finds himself in a totally different place, a ridiculously luxurious, brightly lit palace that looks way too familiar. Looking around in disbelief, he realizes this is where the game first started. A close-up of his eye captures the pure shock as the world solidifies. The system then presents a lineup of silhouetted love interests and asks the player to make a choice. A tiny spark of hope flickers in his eyes. Maybe, just maybe, this is a real second chance. And that hope dies fast as a red window declares, character currently locked. A little chibi version of the youth awkwardly laughs off his complete failure. Zhao Sui then spots the legs of a man in a blue suit. It's Chenli here in this reset world. He whispers the man's name. A romantic daydream flashes by as he calculates if choosing this guy is his ticket out of this mess. He hesitates, staring at his hand, weighing the consequences. Zhao Sui remembers just how cruel he was to him before. Yeah, winning back this heart is going to be tough. Panic hits when the system says all potential characters are currently unavailable. Desperate and crying out, our hero lunges forward, hugging the dark-haired man tightly. We get a close-up on Zhao Sui's face, and you can see his absolute determination to reclaim what he lost. He clings desperately to Chenli, as this new reality solidifies. Looking up at the dark-haired man, the youth wonders, does he remember anything? His target just grunts, clearly super annoyed. He starts peeling the kid's arms off his expensive tailored suit. But despite the rejection, a notification pops up. Target selected successfully. Fragments of digital code rain down around them as the palace fully resets. And then a shutdown countdown appears right in front of him. It says he only has 28 days left to succeed. Overwhelmed by the pressure, the orange-haired youth shuts his eyes tight to think. Zhao Sui recognizes the scene. It's the opening bit from his first playthrough. But this time, facing the reset, our boy completely fails to start the game right. Light floods his vision as the orange-haired youth wakes up in a soft, ridiculously luxurious bed. Confused, the fox-eared youth lets out a startled gasp, sitting up and looking around the massive room. Is this my room? He wonders. Checking his glowing blue bracelet, Zhao Sui realizes he's back on April 18th. Oh no. The youth panics, feeling an arm wrapped around his waist, instantly assuming it's Chin-li, now dressed in a school uniform. Zhao Sui tries to leave, while a red-haired man reads a paper nearby. Hyped to see Chin-li, he's stopped when the man forbids him from going. Zhao Sui looks totally confused, reminding the older guy, "Hello, we're engaged." He then waves a cheerful goodbye anyway. The youth sprints out the palace doors, determined to catch his target. The scene shifts to the modern corporate entrance of Director Chin-li's company. Standing in the lobby, our fox-eared hero thinks about just quitting the game. A little chibi, him imagines the perks of dating someone who looks just like his real-world crush. A low-angle shot then captures the steady, confident approach of Director Chin himself. Spotting the man in the blue suit, the youth straightens up as his nerves begin to absolutely shred. Zhao Sui quickly reassures himself. It's a reset, Chin won't remember my screw-up. He calls out the man's name, and Chin stops, looking back with total indifference. Desperate for attention, the fox-eared youth reaches out, grabbing a firm hold of the man's expensive sleeve. Zhao Sui is then shocked to see the original assistant is back at the director's side. Turning his back, the director walks away as the youth frantically begs him to wait. Chasing after him, the youth shouts for the man's attention as they cross the lobby. Catching up, Zhao Sui finally asks the director, "Why are you pretending not to see your own fiancé?" The man tries to shake him off, but Zhao Sui refuses to let go. Noticing a ring on the man's finger, he asks if it's their engagement ring. Looking at his own hands, Zhao Sui realizes with growing dread that his own engagement ring is completely gone. The dark-haired man speaks his name, his voice cold and his expression lacking any warmth. Chin lays it out cold. Stop bothering him, the engagement is off. And our boy immediately starts shaking. Zhao Sui nervously laughs, telling him to quit joking around. But a look into Chinny's piercing golden eyes says this is dead serious. He offers a quick clipped apology. The director then shoves his hand away and coolly adjusts his sleeve before walking off, making his dislike known. The affection score? A big, fat 0. Stunned, Zhao Sui wonders why no love meter is even showing up for his main target. Our youth stands frozen in the lobby, just watching his target leave through the security gates. Then a blue system window pops up. It gives our confused and desperate foxboy a quick backstory summary. Silhouettes reveal Zhao Sui used family power to force an engagement on Chin-li. The system explains that picking Chin-li triggers a different opening script. A tiny, furious chibi Zhao Sui starts ranting about this rigged game, getting dumped right at the start. As he thinks, he wonders who Chin-li actually loves. Just then, an elevator dings. The chime signals their arrival on the 31st floor. The assistant vows to have security block Zhao Sui next time. He wants him banned from the office floors. Checking the schedule, he sees Chin-li cleared his whole day for a special visitor ... someone named Song. Chin-li repeats the name, his expression suddenly intense and thoughtful. All at once, steady footsteps echo. It's Zhao Sui, chasing the director down the corporate hall. He grabs his tie, trying to remind him of the long history they share. Zhao Sui looks him dead in the eye, asking if he's really forgotten their past. A bittersweet memory of their school days surfaces. It's a flashback to a radiant, youthful first love. Staring off, our fox-eared boy gets lost in how bright those feelings once were. But then a darker memory hits the painful, secret reality of a first love that shattered. Visions of their hidden moments. Those private times that still haunt his thoughts. In the pouring rain, the memory of a desperate, clinging embrace just won't fade. He finally gets it. Some things are impossible to forget, no matter what. That's when Zhao Sui jumps right between them. He's stopping a pink-haired newcomer from getting close to his target. A character intro appears, Shuang Shiqi, a schoolmate rumored to have loved Chinne. Totally shocked by this, Zhao Sui wonders ... Could this be the guy who rejected the director all those years ago? The youth looks up, confused, feeling the entire mood shift. The dark-haired man is staring down at him, his gaze ice-cold. He demands to know why he's staring so hard. A wave of jealousy hits Zhao Sui. Why is the director acting so possessive? With a look of complete dismissal, the director coldly tells him to get lost. Now. Desperate for any sign of affection ... The youth asks if he's really not wanted here. Leaning in, the director confirms it. He has zero desire to even see him. And he walks away, leaving Zhao Sui shouting about their unfinished business. Watching it all, Shuang Shiqi seems to find this. Very possessive display incredibly amusing. The pink-haired man mulls over the difference between the director's harsh words. And his strangely protective actions. Footsteps echo their departure as the drama in the lobby finally comes to an end. The director repeats his order to leave while our boy rants about how tough it is to win him over. The frustration just boils over. Zhao Sui realizes his mission is now in hard mode after the reset. Still, he puts on a brave face, vowing to try again tomorrow. A grumpy little chibi Zhao Sui disses the director's taste for being interested in someone else. Shuang Shiqi just watches with a knowing look. He can feel the thick tension in the air. The pink-haired author decides to follow the director, leaving the frustrated youth behind. And scene change. We go from the sleek office back to a luxurious palace, where our boy is face down on a sofa in despair. Zhao Sui is whining about his total lack of affection points. A system warning then clarifies that the target currently feels ... absolutely zero affection for the player. A furious chibi, Zhao Sui questions how a broken engagement turned into this much hatred. He remembers the director begging to be left alone, finally getting the depth of his resentment. Memories of being told to just vanish ... swirl around the dark room. Zhao Sui wonders if the director somehow remembers the tragic end from the previous world. Thinking back ... The youth admits he was blinded by his own rage. A notification from his manager pops up, calling him in for a new script. A few tiny intimacy points appear in gold, but man, this system is cheap. He just smirks, full of new resolve. Zhao Sui is ready for round 2 at this meeting. Meanwhile, in the hallway, the director is asking for a transcript before lunch. President Chinne is all business, looking stern and professional for his next appointment. That's when an assistant walks in. He announces that Zhao Sui is here for a meeting. And surprise, Shuang Shiqi is already there, mentioning a deal they made yesterday. The director sends his assistant away to talk with his guest privately. As the tension in the room becomes thick enough to cut, the door clicks shut. The director immediately asks his uninvited guest why he's here. In response, Zhao Sui presents a box. He claims it's a homemade lunch, prepared with love just for him. The neat little gift sits there, his latest attempt to score points. He talks about daily meals, but his inner monologue reveals the truth. He totally ordered takeout. The director, however, bluntly rejects it. He says clearly that he has absolutely no interest in the lunch. A close-up on our boy's eyes reveals the deep sadness of this rejection. Rejected, coldly, but our fox-eared boy isn't backing down. Leaning in close and reaching for the dark-haired director, totally challenging that dismissal. How can he be so sure without even looking? He asks. The director's face? A total mask of brooding silence. And as the youth talks, the man's golden, reptilian eyes narrow with an icy glare that cuts right through him. Then, Zhao Sui's hand touches the director's. He just keeps pushing, looking up with this totally provocative smile and asks the man, "So, you like what you see?" The camera zooms in on a black lace choker in the very open neckline of his outfit. "Yeah, not subtle." The director shoves him away. He demands to know why he's dressed so inappropriately for an office. And, of course, Chibi Zhao Sui immediately wonders if this stern act is just hiding his jealousy. But the director is a statue, completely unmoved. And our frustrated youth realizes his charm isn't working at all. So Zhao Sui tries asking for another meeting, but the director just shrugs, telling him to do whatever he wants. A flash of pure shock hits the youth's face. While he's still processing that ice-cold response, he blurts out that he's shooting a new movie. And boom, that finally gets the director's attention. The director actually looks back, curious, questioning this cryptic new plan. As he leaves the office, our boy promises he'll be back. Even as the manager tries to get a word in, that heavy office door clicks shut, ending a super tense and totally frustrating meeting. Rubbing his temples, the director looks seriously troubled, lost in thought after that whirlwind departure. Just then, someone else enters. The pink-haired author peeks in, asking if he just had a visitor. He then wants to know if the director has checked out the new script. This pink-haired guy makes it crystal clear. He thinks Zhao Sui is completely wrong for the role he wrote. To make his point, he leans right over the desk and asks for the director's own opinion on the matter. The director says nothing, while the author just waits for an answer about casting Zhao Sui. The author starts ripping into the kid's acting, calling it both incredibly stiff and way too over the top. He can't even imagine him in the role, especially not as the third male lead. He hates the idea of nepotism, insisting the youth just doesn't have the skills for the part. The pink-haired man then asks why the director would even consider Zhao Sui when he's so obviously not qualified. But the director denies being in charge of casting. He does admit, though, that the boy must have some kind of special spark. A close-up on the author's purple eyes reveals suspicion mixed with intense curiosity. The author points out that the director and the youth have been getting awfully close lately. And suddenly, a loud heartbeat fills the room. The director is struggling, fighting some intense, conflicting feelings. A dark, pulsating energy surrounds him as he tries to suppress a powerful urge. Looking worried, the pink-haired author calls out his name, trying to snap him out of his trance. The dark-haired man just whispers the youth's name. Then, like a light bulb went off. The director tells the author that the whole casting issue is completely his call to make. Chin that gives a faint smile, telling the author that his decision is the only one that really matters. The pink-haired guy looks totally baffled. He can tell something about the director's personality has fundamentally shifted. So the author suggests a battle, a competitive audition between Zhao Sui and his own top choice. Surrounded by an aura of dark roses, the author says with total confidence that he's sure the youth won't let the director down. The scene cuts to an empty boardroom where we learn the mission's objective has suddenly changed. Our boy is freaking out over a glitch. The youth is ranting about being used as a free bug tester. A panicked colleague then bursts in, yelling that things have gotten really bad. His friend reveals that Zhao Sui's role is being recast, which means their whole mission is now different. The manager explains the author wasn't happy, and now he's holding open auditions for the part. We see silhouettes explaining that this author is a huge deal, with tons of award-winning projects. A shot of trophies shows just how much the company paid to get their hands on this guy's script. The manager is losing his mind. Their success so far was all because of connections, not because of any real acting talent. We see a close-up on the youth's eye, showing his confusion. The red-haired man who happens to be the biggest investor just sits there silently, reading over a document. Then it hits our protagonist. A spark of inspiration. A brilliant idea. Zhao Sui remembers the investor's personality. He talks tough, but he's a total softie deep down. Zhao Sui confidently tells his manager that the script is perfect for him, which totally surprises the guy. The manager immediately signs him up for acting classes. He tells him to go study and keep a low profile for a bit. But as our foxier boy looks at the office door, he insists he still has to visit someone. A peaceful background shot signals we're shifting back to director Chinnai and what he's been up to. Turns out, Zhao Sui has been visiting the office every single day with gifts, always promising the director, "I'll see you tomorrow." He even hugs the man from behind. The youth asks if he can bring him something else the next day. Those words, "see you tomorrow," echo over and over. Back in the present, silence hangs in the director's office. President Chin Nia sits alone, deep in thought. He realizes the kid is over an hour late. That's not like him at all. A voice from behind the heavy door gives someone permission to enter. Right away. An assistant pops in to say President Kin's meeting is about to start. The man just gives a cold nod. The director tells his assistant that if anyone shows up late, they should wait for him inside his office. Looking gloomy and bothered, the dark-haired man gets ready to head to his big corporate meeting. But then his assistant mentions that Jue is doing a screen test right now. The news hits him hard. The director is shocked, asking why on earth the screen test is happening today of all days. Chibi Chen then notices the clouds outside are finally breaking. His mind was still on that kid's wild audition, but voices echoed from the hall. Time to shift focus to the packed audition room for the script reading. A mini Zhao Sui is fuming at his manager, ranting about how the screenwriter is the one guy he absolutely hates. He whines that the stupid pen name on the script was the reason he didn't recognize the pink-haired author. Is it a grudge? Oh no. Our Chibi insists his feelings for the writer are way, way worse. The room erupts in applause. And at the door, our foxier hero stands ready to face his rival. A judge is praising the last candidate's performance, before turning to Teacher Song for his expert take. But Teacher Song says something's missing, because the character Lin Chuan was always unwanted and unloved. Song Shiki calls the performance shallow, saying it completely failed to reach the heart of the audience. A colleague nervously suggests calling Zhao Sui to try, but his manager looks concerned for him. The author, however, bluntly tells them to forget it. He won't waste time on the unqualified kid. Song Shiki claims a rich boy like Zhao Sui could never truly understand a character like Lin Chuan. Suddenly, the youth grabs the author with raw intensity, asking what exactly he thinks he can't do. The man is stunned by the kid's dark, piercing presence. Song Shiki stares, frozen, into his glowing blue eyes. Everyone else panics, begging Zhao Sui to release Teacher Song and talk things out more calmly. The youth lets him go. The author stumbles back, and the air in the room remains heavy. Zhao Sui then points directly at the author, asking if he has ever known fear deep down in his soul. Looking shaken, Song Shiki wonders if the kid's frightening emotional display was just a carefully calculated act. Switching to a bright smile, Zhao Sui asks if he's finally qualified to start his audition. A judge wipes sweat from his forehead, nervously agreeing to let the young man proceed with the screen test. The camera lens zooms in close, capturing the start of his highly anticipated audition. Closing his eyes, Zhao Sui takes one deep, steadying breath and gets ready to become the character Lin Chuan. The youth opens his eyes and boom. A look of deep sorrow and intense, raw vulnerability. Song Shiki is completely shocked, wondering when this kid's acting skills could have possibly gotten so incredible. The author sees it too. He transformed himself with just one look, one simple movement. Standing alone right in the middle of the room, He projects this crushing sense of total isolation and despair. Zhao Sui realizes Song Shiki was right. His old, pampered self could never do this. Zhao Sui knows that life, the pampered young master from the game, is over for him. A painful, gut-wrenching memory of being choked suddenly surfaces. He's channeling genuine trauma from his past life. Zhao Sui sees himself as a tiny ant, just clinging to life and fighting to survive. As his true self, he knows this isn't acting at all. He's showing everyone the person he really used to be. Staring now at his reflection, Zhao Sui admits he is just showing the old, authentic him. Meanwhile, Chin stands alone in a darkened room, watching the audition's live broadcast on a massive screen. The director reaches out toward the glowing screen, his hand near the crying youth's image. A close-up on Chinny's eye reveals his golden pupils narrowing as he watches the powerful performance. Complaining that it hurts, the youth suggests that only a kiss could make him feel better now. An encouraging feedback bubble notes that his performance was not bad. Against a flowery background, a judge praises Zhao Sui's improved acting, saying there's no way he won't make it into the cast now. A newcomer arrives, asking if he missed any brilliant performances today. Zhao Sui is stunned to see a white-haired man with cat ears, who just appeared at the audition. The youth addresses the white-haired senior, who looks elegant and a little mysterious in his attire. Yanwen celebrates their reunion, but our fox-eared hero demands that he stay far away. Looking confused, the white-haired senior reacts with a question mark. At the youth's instant hostility, Zhao Sui starts to worry about his arrival, wondering if this man has finally found him. A strategy system screen warns that any unselected targets will become non-playable characters with no future storylines. A voice recognizes the newcomer, confirming that he's here. As the scene shifts to the stage lights, Chibi's debate if Yan Wen is the lead, while suggesting one final test to finalize Zhao Sui's casting. Song Shiki explains the character Lin Chuan has a vital emotional journey in the script. The author suggests testing a scene where the character takes medicine to portray repressed tension. Teacher Song tells Jui he can pick any partner, since his talent is that good. Panicking at the idea, the youth and a colleague wonder what's happening. Chibi Yanwen offers to act with his junior, if he needs someone for the test. Then a hand in a suit blocks the door as the director announces his intention to perform the scene. President Chen Ni has arrived, shocking everyone. People question why he's even here for auditions. The director looks serious and totally authoritative, preparing himself to act with the fox-eared youth. His golden pupils narrow, a sign of intense focus, as he gazes toward the audition stage. Yanwen says he really shouldn't be here, but Chin wants to see the show he invested in. Grabbing the director's shirt, Zhao Sui begs him not to cause any trouble for this important role. A chibi Zhao Sui frets that failing to get the part will stop him from completing his mission. Chin leans in close, asking if he has ever denied him anything he truly wanted. The youth stares back, silent, caught in the director's intense, overwhelming presence. A hand is shown resting near a dark coat, marking a sudden shift in the room's tense atmosphere. Sitting with cold dignity, the director prepares to start the improvised scene with the youth. Yao Sui watches the director, wondering what kind of person he is truly dealing with. Song Shiki is stunned that the director is skipping rehearsals. The performance kicks off, and right away, our boy recognizes the director's every move. Like, they've rehearsed this 1,000 times. A quick shot of their feet shows just how close they are. The entire scene bathed in light and surrounded by flowers. Their eyes locked, a silent, powerful command telling the kid to come closer. The director's voice cuts in, cold and firm. He touches his bruise, gaze dropping. The director's heavy stare just pins him down with guilt. A view from above shows them standing incredibly close as the performance goes on. Their legs even brush against each other, which just cranks up the intimate, tense vibe of the whole act. The director leans in, saying it's far too late to play nice now. Chin wants to know who he was fighting with, But Zhao Sui just flashes a teasing smile. Then a white screen pops up. It announces the official audition performance is starting now. We see them both acting out the scene in a massive, open studio. Zhao Sui glances over his shoulder at the director, totally lost in his character's emotions. A close-up on the director's eyes shows pure focus on the kid's amazing acting. The director reaches out, his hand gently touching the youth's hair as their dramatic exchange continues. He asks if he actually got hurt for the role. As the audition hits its emotional peak, he starts getting flustered, wondering why the director keeps on touching his neck. During the scene, his tail wraps right around the man's leg, and he notes that it kind of tickles. Then a close-up. The director's golden, beast-like eyes. Still completely in character, acting fiercely, the director warns him not to come home. While everyone watching is just in awe. Smirking, Zhao Sui asks if he's actually angry or just feeling sorry for him. Cue the chibi versions. Tiny Chin scolds him while tiny Zhao Sui cries, promising to be good. Back to the real scene in a dreamlike haze, he begs Big Brother not to ignore him, vowing he'll never leave again. The two performers grip hands, sharing a moment of insane connection. Looking completely stunned, the black-haired man asks ... why on earth he'd use such a personal, intimate title. But Chinda just smirks at the bold acting choice, muttering that the little fox has finally won. He reaches out, touching the boy's neck again, basically agreeing with the emotions from their powerful improv. Then he snaps back to his usual self. Zhao Sui blushes bright red, insisting he was just reading his lines. But his eyes? They scream total confusion. He's thinking, what have I gotten myself into? As Chinda lifts his chin up. Meanwhile, Zhao Sui wonders if there's a progress bar for affection. A system heart pops up showing a super low affection level. And here comes sad chibi Zhao Sui, feeling totally rejected. But wait, the strategy guide shows affection points for physical touch, though most of it's locked. Chibi Zhao Sui is thrilled to see a high base value, realizing the director already likes him. They lean in closer, the air thick with tension as the whole scene wraps up. Their faces are just inches apart, sharing this deeply intimate moment right in the middle of the crowded audition. Suddenly, the chibi version shoves the man away, breaking the spell over the entire room. Zhao Sui lands right on the floor. A judge immediately starts gushing about the incredible performance they just saw. Yanwen is all smiles, admitting he never knew the company president was such a talented and convincing actor. The white-haired senior starts teasing them, saying it was so realistic he thought they were in a secret relationship. Song Shiki, however, stays quiet at the table. His face is unreadable as he processes the whole intense scene. The author confirms it. Zhao Sui is perfect for the role and is expected on set next week. A cheerful little cat man congratulates him, totally excited about working together. Later, with the production team, Chinda gets ready to leave. But Zhao Sui stops him, boldly asking to visit his house tonight. He clings to the man's hand, repeating his request to come over, hoping for something a bit more personal. Zhao Sui notices the affection level hasn't budged, wondering if the director has to take the lead. Thinking he was too forward, he yanks his hand away, quickly making an excuse about needing to get a lunchbox he forgot. Zhao Sui suggests he can just go over to get it, but Chinli offers to send an assistant instead. The kid just stares back, shocked. ... and pretty frustrated by the cold, professional brush-off. A tiny smirk plays on the director's lips as he enjoys the boy's annoyance. The chibi version gives up and shoves the man toward the door, telling him to just go to work. In his head, though, Zhao Sui is already planning tonight's seduction. He's dead set on winning his heart and beating this game. Night falls. The scene shifts to the quiet outside of a modern building. Standing outside on his phone, our boy is hyping himself up for a surprise visit to the director's house. He spots an extra pair of shoes and freezes, realizing someone's already there. Zhao Sui is shocked to find Song Shiki in the shadows, smoking a cigarette with a tired look. The pink-haired author stares at a mysterious guy through the smoke, his purple eyes filled with secrets. A dark-haired man reaches for the author, his motives totally unclear. In the quiet, the stranger leans in real close. The distance shrinks, and a new dangerous tension fills the air. The stranger asks why Song Shiki is here, saying he thought the author didn't even like President Chin. Holding his cigarette, the author scoffs, asking who on earth claimed he had no feelings for the man. The stranger accuses Song Shiki of stringing Chin along, all because of him, but the author claims the president gives him what he wants. The dark-haired stranger gives him a cold, piercing stare, asking what he could possibly give the pink-haired author. Calling him cold, the stranger insists he can provide what the author wants, too. He's getting pinned to a wall. A tiny chibi Zhao Sui freaks out from his hiding spot, wondering if this is some kind of scandalous game event. Footsteps echo in the night as someone arrives at the sleek, modern house. Zhao Sui greets Chinna at the door. He urgently reports that he saw Song Shixi kissing another man. The news catches Chinli totally off guard, his eyes widening. Narrowing his golden pupils, the man notes that, unlike others, his focus and affection are directed elsewhere entirely. Chin pulls the youth close and leans in, stating he only ever shares kisses with him. A heart progress bar shows his affection rising. This marks a very positive turn in their relationship. Zhao Sui smiles, thinking his plan is perfect. As the scene wraps, a pair of formal black shoes purposefully strides up the stairs. The fox-eared youth greets Chinni. Chinni coldly suggests discussing any big news tomorrow. As he turns away, Zhao Sui shouts that he saw Song Shixi with another man. The black-haired man's footsteps halt abruptly. That certainly got his attention. Zhao Sui smiles to himself. He's pleased his strategy to pique the man's interest is working so well. Chin pauses, offering a brief, stoic reaction. Stunned by the man's complete lack of surprise, the youth asks if he already knew. We get a close-up of his golden pupils, ... revealing an intense, unwavering focus. The scene then shifts to a professional studio with staff members moving about. A pink-haired, cat-eared woman asks the black-haired man why he's come down here. Chin simply explains he had something to handle. The cat-eared woman accepts his presence. The interior of the modern building reflects a shift toward a late-night atmosphere now. Chin orders a driver to take the youth home, leaving Zhao Sui frustrated. A chibi driver called Uncle Wang appears. He physically carries the flailing chibi youth away from the area. Angry at the cold dismissal, the chibi rants about how difficult men are. Recovering his composure, the fox-eared youth smiles a polite farewell until next time. Professional filming equipment is shown on the set. Marking a transition, a colleague admires Zhao Sui, noting how well his role as group leader suits him. The director announces the lighting division is rechecking the room as the crew prepares. He then asks what he's staring at. Zhao Sui remarks that the current scene is truly amazing. We see the youth's back as he observes the busy filming environment. A close-up of sneakers moving across the floor emphasizes the set's activity. A flashback begins with those very same sneakers. This was the first time they ever met. Memories of a crowded party appear, showing him in various social situations. A close-up reveals hands with a visible bruise, hinting at a past physical struggle. The atmosphere suddenly turns dark. The youth encounters a woman during a tense past event. Standing among blurred figures, he feels utterly isolated in his memories. In a close-up of his eyes, he reflects that he still can't leave this situation. A pink-haired woman wonders what she is waiting for. As she watches the crowd silently, a younger Langbi arrives on the stairs, announced as the young master of the entire house. A close-up captures the striking, handsome features of the young man as he descends, staring at the newcomer. The youth is immediately struck by his intense beauty. A woman introduces the man as his older brother and tells him to go say hi. His eyes widen as a dark speech bubble commands him never to use that title. An older man then scolds Liangbi, He demands an apology to his younger brother for his tone. Clinging to the man, the woman says the kids just aren't close yet. Looking distressed, she claims she's being hated now because of the conflict. The youth looks away with a troubled expression. Caught in the middle of the family drama, the black-haired man stares back with a cold, disgusted gaze, highlighting the deep rift. He covers his eyes in frustration, reflecting on the name Liang Li in his past. He looks downward with such a sad expression. He continues to dwell on his complicated childhood memories. An angry woman slaps him, ordering him to stop reflecting on his tough life. The youth addresses the woman as auntie while fearing her. She questions his whole plan to win over Liang Li. Mocking his lack of progress, he concludes that the man simply doesn't like him. Their past gazes meet again. Staff members whisper about him being an illegitimate child, emphasizing his isolation. The servants withhold food from him. They prioritize dinner for the favored young master instead. A depressed chibi youth sits alone, his stomach growling. In his room, he trembles near a door, exhausted by the rejection in the house. Overwhelmed by hunger, he finally takes some food. In the quiet room, Liang the catches him red-handed, accusing him of stealing again. Panicked, the youth quickly hides the food. He quickly denies the accusation. The man reveals the stolen bread by pulling his arm as the youth makes excuses. Tears fill his eyes as he pleads that he never intended to steal the food. Liang just scoffs at the display. He asks if the youth is acting pitiful once again. He questions how a woman from a lower background could reach such a high status. Staring at a portrait, the man thinks, is that really his mother? Meanwhile, Liang Li is convinced the kid's family is why his own mother is gone. He even mutters about them being illegitimate. And when the youth tries to say it's all a big misunderstanding, nope, he gets a rough shove for his troubles. Disgusted, the man says the house was never his mother's and tells him to stop the lies. Liang orders the boy to quit dreaming. He warns him never to steal from him again. Sunlight hits a modern school campus, changing the scene to a typical academic day. Students head towards the school entrance as a mysterious figure watches from afar. Footsteps can be heard echoing on the pavement. While students move through the busy school courtyard, someone asks Liang Li if he has a handsome younger brother. Liang doesn't answer. His cold, focused look shows he's annoyed by the nosy question. His friend playfully teases him about hiding a pretty boy. His friend even asks if he is feeling all right. A pair of sneakers suddenly stops, creating tension in their casual chat. Liang flatly denies having a little brother, ending the talk with an icy glare. Zhao Sui steps into a silent classroom. Inside, students are all focused on their desks. Sitting down, the boy looks bothered and cut off from his whispering classmates. The bullying starts when someone throws wadded-up trash and a crushed can onto the boy's desk. A group of students starts to mock him. They remind him that it's his turn to take out the trash. The head bully makes fun of his family status and asks why he dares to glare. Grabbing the boy's collar, the bully sneers that people like him are all the same. The two students are locked in a tense standoff. The bully menacingly leans in. Having had enough, the boy yells back and gets ready to fight. Zhao Sui completely loses his temper. He pins the bully against a desk, gripping his neck tightly. A flashback shows his mother telling him to be good to stay with her. The bully mocks the boy's family for being social climbers. He then says the boy killed Liang Yi's mother, which makes Zhao Sui snap. Furious, the boy pins him down and demands to know what he just said. The bully is now gasping for air. Yao Sui's grip tightens around his throat in a blind rage. A teacher suddenly runs into the room, yelling at them to stop the fight. The boy is coldly told that he still has to do his cleaning duties for the day. Two figures are standing close in the classroom. With tension still in the air, a friend asks Liang Li what he thought about the teacher helping the boy after the fight. The brown-haired student says the fight started because of Liang Yi's involvement. Liang just brushes it off as some kind of performance. Thinking about the boy's usual little tricks, he decides to play along with this act to see exactly where this whole performance is going. The scene changes to the outdoor garbage area of the school campus around noon. We get a close-up of a student's hand placing something. A heavy trash bag goes into the bin. Two girls then walk up to Zhao Sui, asking if he is really Liang Yi's younger brother. A close-up on the youth's purple eyes shows him quietly thinking about the girl's question. Liang realizes he wants to see the boy. Despite their rocky relationship, the girl says sending things won't work and that he should deliver the message to him in person. Walking with determination, the boy's sneakers skid to a halt once he makes a decision. He now stands right in front of the two girls. The boy asks them what exactly they want him to hand over. Zhao Sui is holding a pink love letter, his face firm, ready for the mission. Outside the room, Zhao Sui hesitates. He has to deliver a love letter he didn't even write. Gearing up, he decides he has to go in. Our boy gets ready to knock on the bedroom door to finish the job. The door slowly creaks open, offering a peek into the room's quiet space. Walking inside, Zhao Sui bumps right into Liang Bi, who is shirtless and fresh out of the shower. Startled, Zhao Sui notices his solid build. As Liang demands to know what he's doing, the flustered, blushing boy stammers, trying to explain why he suddenly burst in. A close-up shot lands on the pink love letter, the whole reason for his current mission and anxiety. Shaking, Zhao Sui shoves the envelope forward. He yells that the letter is for him and overwhelmed with embarrassment. The youth quickly turns around and makes a run for it. He bolts down the hallway after making the drop. Covering his face, Zhao Sui tries to remember where he touched him in their awkward collision. Left standing there, Liang holds a towel and the pink letter, looking genuinely confused and a little surprised. Then it's the next day at school. The boy walks through the halls completely lost in his own world. Ignoring the looks from other students, Zhao Sui keeps a calm, stoic face. Getting to his desk, the boy sets his backpack down as he gets ready for the school day. A classmate asks if he's close to Liang Bi, saying his older brother called the teacher. Zhao Sui is stunned, wondering if his brother saw it all. He wonders if he actually stepped in to help him. Touching his face, the boy thinks maybe this means the man no longer hates him. Surrounded by sparkles, his heart fills with hope that their relationship might finally be getting better. On the court, a basketball sinks into the net. While people cheer for the amazing shot, Liang Yi's friend gives him a water bottle, asking if he actually bought it himself today. Taking a sip, Liang says he didn't buy it. His friend points out his brother got it, teasing him about this sudden change of pace. He mentions that their relationship seems so much better than what the rumors were saying. A close-up on Liang Yi's eye shows him thinking it over. Liang catches sight of Zhao Sui hiding behind a vending machine, secretly watching the basketball game. Inside, students chat about upcoming practice. While a chalkboard is filled with complex math equations, a desk is covered with boxes of medicine and bandages, all gifts from many different girls. Students point out that Liang Yi's small cut would heal by itself. Despite the mountains of band-aids, they are giving him with the supplies. Liang says his brother gave them some things, which prompts his buddy to make a grand show of tossing a red box right into the trash. Our guy just scoffs, like his family could ever be that thoughtful. His friend calls him a total hard-ass, suggesting he introduce that cute kid to him instead. Liang shoots him a death glare, stating the obvious in a low tone, Zhao Sui is a boy. His friend just shrugs. Who cares? Real feelings are what matter. As Liang thinks about it, he can't get the image out of his head. The kid's blushing face when he delivered that letter. Yeah, that memory is sticking around. Looking totally conflicted, Liang starts to wonder what the kid is really after. Would he actually pull something? Lost in his thoughts, the guy is spiraling. He's trying to make sense of the kid's confusing behavior when suddenly, bam, a loud noise rips through the quiet room. A hand smacks down hard on the wooden desk. His friend goes, "What are you still doing here?" They just dragged Zhao Sui up to the rooftop. Looking seriously ticked off, Liang snaps, "Why do you guys keep bringing him up?" His friends point out that he gets a little intense whenever they say the kid's name. Way more intense than for anyone else, actually. He shoots up from his seat, demanding his friends never, ever mention that kid to him again. Not interested in the rooftop drama, Liangbi announces he's going to the office. Meanwhile, high above the school, a little welcoming party is gathering. A couple of students are chilling on the roof in the bright sun. One of them gets right in the youth's face, demanding to know if he sent a love letter. Looking completely lost, the youth just repeats the words back, having no idea who the girl is. Then a quick flashback. The youth standing in front of two girls. He's finally getting that pink envelope, but it's for his brother. Zhao Sui gives the girl a frosty look and basically tells her to get lost with a single. Sharp comment. The bully grabs him by the collar, snarling about how much he hates that arrogant look on his face. Zhao Sui just smirks back, daring the guy to take a swing. Instead of coming up with lame excuses, the bully just gets angrier. But then Zhao Sui moves, and in a flash, the guy is pinned to the ground, effortlessly. Standing over the defeated bully, Zhao Sui thanks him for picking such a nice private spot for a beatdown. He then tunes out the chatter from the rest of the group. The blue-eyed youth stands his ground. Later that night, he creeps back into the huge modern mansion, trying to be quiet. Looking exhausted, he tries to hide a fresh bruise on his face. But of course, Liangbi is waiting on the stairs, coldly asking just where he thinks he's off to. A close-up shot zeroes in on the kid's bruised face as he just stares back at his older brother in silence. Startled, Zhao Sui calls him young master and asks why he's still awake. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife as they face off. Liangbi immediately demands to know where he got that bruise. Panicking, Zhao Sui totally forgets to cover it and blurts out the worst lie ever. I fell off my bike. Lifting his chin, Liang mocks him. Your lying skills are terrible. You're a bad kid. And he keeps pressing, clearly not buying a word of it. Such a naughty kid telling fibs. The youth suddenly remembers his own mother's voice, always telling him he had to be obedient. Desperate, Zhao Sui swears it was just a fight with some classmates and that it won't happen again. He latches on to the older man, begging not to be kicked out. He promises to be perfectly obedient. Looking up with teary eyes, the kid repeats his vow. I'll be very, very good for you, brother. The camera zooms right into Liangni's eye, showing his ice cold, calculating gaze as he takes in this whole performance. He is not impressed. He scoffs, noting that the kid sure knows how to play the victim. He remembers another time, wondering if this is all just an act to get sympathy. Holding a dark book, his hand tightens as he mulls over the situation. Liang thinks about the kid's name and all his little manipulative games. He thinks about the kid's attempts to look pathetic. A memory flashes of a smiling woman with pink hair while he just stands alone in the background. Looming over him, Liang commands the youth to never make that face in front of him again. In response, the youth gives a tiny, knowing smile. He's a master at hiding what he's really thinking. Meanwhile, Liang's eyes are practically burning holes into him, trying to figure out his game. Looking at the woman's picture, Liang realizes their faces are almost identical. It's unsettling. He clenches his fist as the past crashes into the present. Lost in his thoughts, Liang wonders aloud, so, are you really going to listen to everything I say from now on? Looking totally overwhelmed, the youth tries his best to keep a straight face under that intense, piercing stare. Thinking about what the kid might be feeling, Liang decides this whole situation is getting interesting. And honestly, kind of funny to him. He reaches out, his fingers brushing against a bruise on the youth's neck. Lifting his chin, he asks if pretending to be nice for a bit will make him happy. Zhao Sui warns him that people will just laugh at him even more if they see this. Liang just turns away, ordering the youth to follow him. Totally surprised by the sudden 180. The youth is left wondering why his brother's terrible mood suddenly vanished. Without warning, Liang grabs the kid's backpack, catching him completely off guard. "Come to my room," he says. "Time to prove how obedient you really are." The scene shifts, and we're now inside a super luxurious, modern bedroom with some seriously classy wooden furniture. Stepping inside, the youth is blown away by the wall-to-wall collection of books. Footsteps echo as he follows his brother into the private space. They stop in the middle of the huge bedroom, and suddenly the atmosphere... Liang leans in again, his gaze totally locked on the bruises coloring the boy's face and neck. A flustered mess, the kid insists he's okay and tries to back off, but Liang snags his wrist, revealing a nasty hidden burn. Eyeing this new injury, he asks if the kid's hiding any other wounds on his body. Zhao Sui gets all flustered, trying to brush it off like, "I'm good. I can patch myself up," while totally hiding his hands. Busted, Liang knows there are more bruises. He stands there, arms crossed, and deadpans, "Take off your shirt." The sudden, bold order completely floors him. Sui looks up, eyes wide with shock, his face turning 50 shades of red. Our boy is just malfunctioning, a mix of confusion and pure mortification. But Liang just repeats the demand, staring him down, patiently waiting for him to obey. Sui clutches his shirt, still insisting, "Really? I've got this." But Liang is like, "Do you really?" And then we see Sui's torso is a mess of bruises as Liang says that naughty line kids deserve a little punishment. He reminds Sui about that promise to obey, and the poor guy just hesitates, blushing nervously. Then Liang tells him to bite down on his shirt while he gets the medicine ready. Sui just stares, completely stunned. His face flushes crimson as he finally processes that very personal order. Hesitantly, he starts pulling his shirt toward his mouth, looking totally anxious. Sui bites down on the fabric, revealing a chest and stomach covered in bruises. Then, Liang Yi's finger gently touches a dark, purple mark on his pale chest. The man's hand then moves down slowly, ever so carefully, spreading the medicine over the sore spots on Sui's side. "Why are you twitching?" Liang asks, as Sui flinches from the sting. As Liang keeps going, he explains he's just treating the wounds. But tears start to fill Sui's eyes as he's hit with this overwhelming mix of physical and emotional intensity. Biting down hard on his shirt, Sui lets out a muffled cry when the treatment hits a really tender area. A little chibi version of Sui agrees to go along with it, looking embarrassed. But then Liang suddenly just tells him to get out. This leaves our boy completely baffled by this sudden chill. Sui just watches him go, wondering why his brother's mood flipped so fast. But after he leaves, we get a close-up of Liang Yi's hands clenched tight. Looks like he was holding back too. The scene then cuts to the mansion's massive foyer. Sui asks if the medicine helped. Liang says it did. And in his head, Sui is totally wondering if they can do that again tonight. But Liang just gives him a short answer and walks off, leaving the poor guy standing there all alone. Sui just stares after him, completely confused. He's stunned that the man is back to his cold, distant self. He hesitates, searching for the right words to close this gap that's opening up between them. It hurts. Sui realizes that as soon as his bruises faded, his brother went back to ignoring him. A close-up on his eye shows it a sudden realization, or maybe a shift in strategy. Touching his neck, he notices the last mark is almost gone, which means their temporary closeness is over. The fancy mansion is quiet and huge under a starry sky. Later that night, Sui heads downstairs and spots his brother. Holding a cup, Liang calls him young master, his face totally calm as he points out what a coincidence this is. Sui asks if he's getting water ... while casually showing off a brand new red mark on his neck. Liang definitely spots the new injury, but Sui just plays it off like he carelessly bumped into something. They both stop right there on the staircase, and the closeness between them creates some serious tension. Looking up with those hopeful eyes, Sui asks if his brother can, help him with it. and a tiny smile plays on Liang Yi's lips. He's totally onto the kid's little scheme. He looks down, his gaze full of amusement, seeing right through this little performance. And then Lang tells Sui to follow him to his room. He'll take care of this new wound.